Hey girlfriends, welcome back to another episode of Car Chats. I feel like we need to come up with a cuter name. Mom Chats, Car Chats, Mom Car Chats, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if y'all can come up with something cuter than that, because we cuter than that, so. But today I wanted to touch back on the mom guilt conversation we were having last week, where we were just discussing how, you know, moms have this guilt on us that is placed on, and I gave you the people that it's placed from: others, society, other moms, you know, media, that kind of thing. And it's an unfair scale that we are expected to never take a break, do the work of many for less. You know, I mean, motherhood is a thankless job, right? Like, the reward is rearing good children into great adults, right? But there is no like monetary reward, or you're not getting gold, you know, every Wednesday for tucking your kids in bed at night and kissing them and telling them to say their prayers. Like, that's not how that works. But there is this expectation of constant depletion. Give, and no refuel. And that's the part that I just really have a problem with when it comes to mom guilt. That moms should never take time for themselves, should let themselves go and look ragged down and torn down. And then if we look run down and she let herself go, you're not going to tap her on the shoulder and be like, hey sis, looks like you're looking unhinged. Your thread is coming undone. Do you need a smoke signal? Are you overworked? Are you burnt out? Like, there's none of that. And the problem that us moms have is that we're waiting on somebody to save us. We're waiting on somebody to recognize she's tired. But the thing about it is, mommies, we are operating at such a high level that nobody knows you're tired unless you say it, or until you have a breakdown or an anxiety attack, or it comes up in your health, or you're sick all the time. Like, we're not gonna say it. I talked about that in the last video. Like, we're not openly just asking for help every 5 seconds. We're just not. And if you're a millennial mom, you're really not. You're figuring it out. That's our bad for real. But today, I want to talk about getting away from that and taking time for yourself and going on childless trips. Because that was one of the ideas and the concepts that I mentioned last week. And I want to expound on that. And then I want to talk to you about a trip that I'm about to take. To preach what I'm saying, you know, practice what I preach. So I'm gonna give you 3 points. I love to give a point. I'm like a pastor. I love to give 3 points. The first reason why you should travel without your children is because you get to do whatever you want to do. I don't know about you, but my schedule is not my own. It is planned around my family. My children and my husband, and I would say my mom is included in that. My plans are planned around their schedules. When you travel by yourself or to a girls trip or whatever, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever's on the itinerary for the girls trip, you can say, yay, I'm going to do that, or no. I don't want to go snorkeling today. I actually want to just sit in the bed and scroll on my phone, because I actually can hold my phone and not be interrupted, not be judged for scrolling on my phone like I should be folding clothes or doing something else. Like, that sounds like heaven to me. And if you propose that to any mom, I bet you she'll quick yes instead of a slow no. It'll be a quick yes. She may have to check her schedule with the other family to make sure it don't interrupt the time, you know, the planning and the logistics of it all. But she's gonna say yes, because that sounds like heaven. So along with doing what you want to do, I don't know about you again, but at my house, I don't control the remote. I can't tell you the last time my family watched something I wanted to watch. Everybody, my husband and my kids, they're the ones that control the remote. But if you travel by yourself, you control everything. Your whole itinerary. You can do whatever you want. You want to go to the beach and chill all day and eat French fries and a salad to make yourself feel better all day? You can do that. You want to eat in the all-inclusive cafeteria all day, all the meals, just because you can do that, because you control your schedule. That's freeing. That is freeing. Okay. Number 2, self-care. I'm going to tag that on to do whatever you want to do, because the self-care that you can experience while traveling without your kids, you have no kids to worry about luggage, their bags. You know, kids, they're little, but they come with a lot of stuff. You don't have to worry about packing their stuff. Did I get enough underwear for 10 days? Just your underwear, baby. Self-care. Did you pack your skincare? Absolutely. So you can go do your skincare for an hour in the morning and put on your favorite playlist, and then get in bed and order room service, and then put on a mask if you want to, and do it again. Self-care looks like point number 1. doing whatever you want to do at the pace you want to do it. Because in our daily lives, we are expected to do this. Go, 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 go. And guess what? I'm only talking to you about at home. Don't have a job because they expect you to be at max capacity all the time. That is the only standard, perfection. You are not allowed to make errors. And don't have to do something for your children. Don't have a kid that's sick. Oh, baby, no. That's inexcusable. They're not going to say that, but that's what they think. That's how they feel. Absolutely. Especially if you are dealing with someone who doesn't have a child, or if they do have a child and their family structure looks different from yours. So let's say, male or female, let's say they aren't the primary caretaker. So the pickups and the drop-offs and the this and the that, that's not their main focus. Their main focus is money making, and that's what they focus on. Don't let your boss be that person, because that's the hardest person to work for when you are a mom with kids. Anyway, back to self-care. So you're able to just relax, do what you want to do, take your time. You know, when you're lotioning your arms, putting on your sunscreen, you're able to like feel, it's not a rush. You're not like just hurrying up to do it just to do it. No, you're really applying it so that it'll work. You're thinking slowly. You know, moms, we always have 28,000 tabs in our head open. But guess what? Some of those are closing out as we're on vacation because we're resetting. That's self-care. Closing tabs is self-care. Okay, so we got doing whatever you want to do, self-care, and point number 3 is the reset, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Spiritually, you're able to think about, to feel, to converse with God. Many times it's very hard in these chaotic days of hustle and bustle, and it's not a complaint, because that's what people misconstrue moms taking a break with, why you had them kids. It's not a complaint. If I'm a marathon runner and I'm tired, I'm tired because I'm training. It's not because I'm complaining. I still want to run the marathon. I still want to be a mom, but it's tiring. 2 things can be true at the same time. So you have that time with that you can have with God, right? Spiritually, to reset your spirit. I am working. I'm declining you for a reason. Another thing is emotionally. Emotionally, you're not responsible for anybody else's emotions. You're only responsible for your own. So you are able to just feel what you want to feel and really tap into you. How are you? It's like where are you emotionally? Where are you spiritually right now? Without the noise, without the chaos, right? Like, even if you're going on a girls trip, you have to travel there by yourself. You have time to yourself to process, to think. When we think about, you know, the contradiction of male versus female, husband versus wife, dad versus mom. When dad has to go on a business trip, when dad goes on a guy's trip, we don't question it. But when mom has to or wants to go on a trip with the ladies or by herself, it's like, oh, you got responsibilities. Huh? So do you. But we all deserve a reset. Now, the third piece of that is mental. The mental load to not just have to process everybody's everything. That is freeing. Again, I keep using the word freeing. It is so freeing not to have to think and worry about others and all their stuff, what they got going on, making sure they here, there, everywhere. Because at any given time, a mom is thinking about 78,000 things. Did this get done? Did that person go there? Did they get there on time? Did they have the lunch they were supposed to have? Did they have that thing for class? Is there homework in their bag? Did I make that appointment? And that's just at home. Again, this is not tacking on you working and your responsibilities that you then have to go into during the day. This is just at home fog. After that is physical. Physically, we are able to not be touched. Oh my God, say it again for the people in the back. Not be touched. I don't think people really think about how a woman's body is taken over when they have a child. Because one, you got your spouse who wants to touch you and you want them to touch you as well. But then you got these kids always touching you. And sometimes they want to do it at the same time. He want to touch you and they want to touch you. Or they just finished touching you and he want to touch you now. It's like, God, it's too much stimulation. I don't want to be touched. And I'm a person that really don't like to be touched like that. I've always been like that. I'm not a big hugger and stuff like that. I just would, like, my husband is a different thing. But just in general, I don't really want people touching me. So I just think this is really important for moms to get away, to enjoy time alone, to enjoy time in place and space, because we're overworked and underpaid. Motherhood is a thankless job. It's the best job in the world. But I just really want to get that connotation that because you're taking a break, you're resetting, that you don't like it, or that it's somehow you're complaining, because the two they don't go together. They don't. Moms just need a break. It's not because we don't love our children. Like Mother's Day, I don't really want to spend the day with the family. I want to be by myself or go away from them. That doesn't make me a bad mom. I mom at 1,000% every day. It's true. So if I want to take a trip, that's what I want to do. Allow me to enjoy myself. So I go on the road and spoil myself. Take a moment by myself. I need to bump me. Come on, Kerwin. In this life, hard for it. I make so much sacrifice. Today I'm feeling nice. Take a little drink because I'm feeling. That's it. So this is the perfect segue into the next part of this video where we're going to talk about my trip that I'm going on. Yay! Let's get into this second half of this discussion, okay? So I talked to you guys about why traveling is very important without your children. And I want to bring up a specific and special trip that helped me to realize this, why I don't suffer from mom guilt, and why I would catch a flight with the quickness and leave them kids at home with their dad. So, Trinidad Carnival. Trinidad Carnival has my heart, and for many reasons. My best friend and I started going to Trinidad Carnival in 2013 or 14. Don't quote me, but one of those years. My sister and her good girlfriends were going annually, having a time, and us minions back at home were like, why are you spending so much money on being naked on the road? Like, why does your costume cost so much? You're just going to like waste your money on any vacation. You can do that anywhere. Not understanding. And over the past 11 or 10 years, I've heard the same thing from so many more people because they don't understand. And when you see me like light up and smile about Trinidad Carnival, it's because it's just a time that is inexplicable, okay? And why that is important in today's chat is just giving you an example of like what time away means. So like I said, I started going on these trips to Carnival pre-children, pre-Kinsley, pre-Tatum. But once I had Kinsley, I used Carnival, it was Jamaica Carnival, well, Carnival nonetheless, to be a milestone and like a goal date that I wanted to have for myself so that I could feel like myself again on a vacation. Now, Kinsley went with us, but she was only 6 months old. And it was a lot for me. I had to breastfeed. I had to pump. I had to have my cousin come and pick up the breast milk and bring it back to the baby because my mom had the baby. It was like all kind of logistics, but it worked out nonetheless. And it was because I had so much joy and freedom and like just living to the extent of livingness at Trinidad Carnival, having this milestone and knowing that this was the goal that I set for myself, and I was gonna be able to feel like myself again. Even having my cousin come and get the milk from the hotel and shuttle it back to the baby every day, I still in the evening was with my girlfriends having a time and feeling like Nateanah. And that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like when I'm talking about mom guilt, when I'm talking about getting away from the kids, it's so that you can tap back into the woman behind the mom. Because you are a woman first. Behind any title, you are a woman first. And so Trinidad Carnival is like my love letter, my love story. I took, just coming backing up just a little bit. My husband and I went in 2018 and conceived our daughter there. So she is a love child of Carnival. So I have a lot of intertwined beautifulness and love for Trinidad Carnival. When you see me there, when you see after you see the vlog, you will really understand like it is a love story like no other. But it's just like the worries that you have, you leave behind. And that's what I'm saying in conjunction with all of this about traveling. Now, Trinidad Carnival is not all what everybody thinks it is. Yes, it is a lot of jumping up, having a good time, being naked on the road, and drinking and dancing. It's all of that. But it is historically a celebration of freedom. And so maybe that's why it has that underlying just sense of freedom still looming in the air, because that's what it was. You know, you had colonization come, slavery, and then once all the cultures were intertwined. It's basically a stem off of, like the Mardi Gras as we know it before Lent. And it is a celebration of freedom. Freedom of slavery, freedom of rule. And a lot of it is our ancestors fighting back and remembering and using the traditions that we had in Africa and going out into the street and dancing and having enjoyment and fun and having loud music. Like all of these things were like a FU to the slave masters, to the people who tried to control or did control them. And so from how loud the trucks and the music are, to the Juve colors and the paint and the mud, all of that, the pop and circumstance, the costumes, all of that is culture. All of that is an ode to where we have come from, but still got a far way to go. Anyway, so that is Trinidad Carnival in a nutshell. That is the history of Carnival. So many beautiful things with the culture, with the history. But all in all, if you can make it 1 year, make sure you plan many months ahead. I would recommend June or July of the year prior. Get a group that you trust. Get a group that you'll have a good time with, and leave your fears behind and your worries behind and just jump up and have a good time. Now, this week, I want to make sure that we highlight a Black-owned business in the travel space. And again, she is my best friend and owner of the ABC Travel Greenbook. She is the best friend that I'm mentioning that I went to Carnival with first, and when I went back to Jamaica Carnival after having Kinsley. And she has created an app that is a beautiful resource for us when we travel. And when I say us, I mean the Black and the Browns. What's really nice about it is that you can be planning for or be in the vicinity of a space that you're going to travel. So in this example, if you're a mom, you're going by yourself or you're going with your girlfriends to Peru, and you want to know, okay, what's the Black culture in Peru? What's the African culture in Peru? I'm going to, Aruba. Is there Black influence there? Well, there's Black influence everywhere. Just remember and know that. And you will learn that more and more as you're in this app. And so if let's say you go to London and you're like, oh, I need to go to the beauty supply because I forgot my edge control. This is the app that shows you where we are, wherever you are. And it's a beautiful tool, it's a beautiful resource, and it ties so beautifully in this idea of moms getting away, moms having time for yourself, moms having self-care. And with that, we're planners. So you go on your trips, you figure out your itinerary using the ABC Travel Greenbook app, or once you get there, restaurant, museum, really anything that you can think of. You can plug it in there and you can see where it is, or you can plan your trip around what you find in the app. So make sure you really check that out. Little plug right there. But I told you every week we was going to be highlighting a Black-owned business in the month of February and beyond. I told you I'm gonna keep this up for every quarter. And so she has lots of new updates on the way. But even as the app is as is, it is a beautiful, beautiful resource. So check that out. I am going to just end it here because I feel like, I've said what I needed to say. I just hope that as a mom, you realize that you too need a break, and that there's nothing wrong with wanting, needing, and taking a break. Anybody who tells you different don't have kids, don't like their kids, or don't need kids. Okay? So enjoy yourself. Have a good time, and I'll see you next week. Maybe I'll be in Trinidad already. Maybe I will be. Maybe I will be. Maybe I will be. All right, bye. Love you, meet it.